don't worry. You're never ahead, you're never behind, you're exactly where you need to be. I think as creators, we often read a lot of negative comments. How many of you ever have read negative comments about yourself? Right? And it's not the most fun thing to read. You know, sometimes what we do, and we do this as humans too, is we amplify the negative. So like, literally everyone here could come up to you and be like, you're amazing, I love what you do. And then one person could come up to you and be like, you're pretty average, like I hated your last video. And we go home thinking about that one person who said that bad thing about us. So my advice is respond to every person that leaves a positive comment. And don't worry about debating with the negative people. Like you're trying to convince people that don't have the right energy for you. But one of the mistakes we make is we don't respond to the negative, or we respond to them, but then we forget about the people who actually leave really beautiful, positive comments. And the thing I love about that value is when you read those positive comments, that's great for your value, because now you're not looking at the metric of views or the metric of shares, but you're looking at real impact in someone's life. And ultimately, remember this, you know, there have been some of the worst leaders in the world that have had a lot of followers. And there have been some pretty incredible leaders in the world who had like 7 followers. So that's not necessarily an indication of how powerful you are, who you are, and how amazing you are as a person at all. And I think it's just important to remember that's not really what it's about. We all know that. And it's about the impact you're making on one person's life. And in just that one person can be so much more powerful and meaningful. For me, it's always been about, we have to reach people where they are, right? It's like, this is where the majority of the planet is. There's like billions of people on these platforms. What are we doing if I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I want you to come find that mountaintop in Peru that I'm teaching a meditation retreat on, right? And it's like, that's beautiful, but we have to go out there and reach out for people. So for me, this is how I see it. Just as there's junk food, there's junk media. And junk media is as addictive as junk food, but it's not great for us. This is my belief. If you present people healthy food, but in a way that looks and tastes like junk food, they will switch. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create content that looks and tastes like junk food, but isn't, and it's real media. And so for me, it's like, how can we create that on the platform where people already are? And what you've shown me, and this is my belief in people, I believe people are smarter than we think they are. I believe people are deeper than we think they are. I believe that people are more beautiful than we think they are. And when you deliver content at that level for people, they respond. What we need is for everyone to tell their story authentically. You don't have to go and break a boundary. You telling your story authentically and sincerely is breaking a boundary, because there's no one like you. And so when you do that, you're giving power to someone to be them, right? When you're more you, everyone gets power to be more them. Don't have a to-do list, have a to-be list. Like, who do you want to be today? Because that's where happiness comes from. When you've ticked off everything on your to-do list, but you're really stressed out, are you happy? No, you're not, because we don't get happy by doing, we get happy by being. And so the way you have a to-be list is like, do I want to be kind today? Fine, I'm going to be kind in every interaction. Do I want to be present today? I'm going to be present in every interaction. What are you going to be? That's going to build happiness, satisfaction, and contentment in your life. Not, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. If we're observant of our friends, we'll notice patterns in their posting that actually can help us take care of them better. Sometimes people are less open with you and they're more open on social media. Or if you're smart and you really care about someone, you'll actually be able to see from their posts. So if I see from someone's post that they're posting something depressive or sad every day, don't just like or comment on their post. Pick up the phone and call them up, right? It's like actually giving you information. So you're actually learning about that person. Or if you're seeing someone post something happy every day and then they stop posting, that's giving you a pattern as well. So actually I like using the tool as a way of reaching out to people. And I think that shows us and our care as friends is like, can we notice the patterns in our friends posting or whatever they're sharing that can actually help us help them with their mental health? I want to go up to random people and be like, there's one thing that blocks meaningful relationships, and I'd love to see if you agree with me or not, but that one thing that I've seen is comparison. Yeah, anyone have an issue with comparing? Me too. How many times do you see someone, you go, I wish I had that. I wish I looked like that. I wish that was happening to me. We live in this wishing, worrying world and we compare ourselves. And when we compare ourselves, we can't connect to someone because if we always want what they have, how can we be friends with them? If they're always having things happen to them and we're close to them, how do we really get close to them? How do we really build up love and trust? So one of the things I want you all to know today is, don't worry. You're never ahead, you're never behind, you're exactly where you need to be. And don't let the internet rush you, right? Don't let social media rush you, don't let anything rush you, because you're exactly where you need to be. And every minute that you're spending wishing you had someone else's life, you're wasting a minute of yours. Now in English, we have words for feeling other people's pain, feeling like compassion, feelings like empathy, but we don't have any words for feeling other people's joy. Like we don't have a word that means feeling people's joy, experiencing people's joy. And so when I lived as a monk, I learned about this word. It's a Sanskrit word, and it's called mudita. I want you to say it after me. M-U-D-I-T-A, mudita. Mudita is a word that genuinely means deeply experiencing the joy of others. Taking joy in the joy of others, being joyful when others are joyful and winning. When you see someone winning, you celebrate their success. That's what mudita means. And that is the antidote to comparison. Because when you're feeling the joy of just yourself, guess what? You have one person to be happy for. But when you're feeling the joy of your community and your squad, you've now got a million reasons to be happy. You've got so many more reasons to be joyful. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I think my biggest takeaway from being at Vidcon has just been that it's so awesome to see so many incredible young people sharing their passions, being creatively expressive, being able to live their lives in that way. And my only hope is that as creators, we also take a responsibility for our mental health, because we're only creating our best when we're at our best. So our creativity is better when we're better. And so when we prioritize our mental health, that naturally creates an incredible ripple into our content. So the biggest takeaway for me is I feel so inspired and excited seeing so many young people creating incredible content. And my hope and wish for them is that they stay grounded, they know when they're getting burnt out, they take breaks, they heal so that they can really serve people. Tell me.
If Thomas Edison provided the world, and Mark Zuckerberg can connect the world, and Elon Musk can fly us out of this world, then I can make the world a sweeter place. My name is Ever Matson, and I'm a future entrepreneur. I'm dedicating my first business, Child Hunger Sucks, to ending child hunger and homelessness. So buy a sucker and save a life.
I love that.
Let's make this world a sweeter place.
That's amazing.